USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the guy.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. I know that police in New York City are happy that they didn't have to clean up the streets last night. I know that they're happy that they didn't have to, break up no fights or, disperse any crowds.
They lost.
Oh, wow.
I know they're happy about that.
It's not over yet. It's not over.
It's not?
It's not, no.
I thought that, okay.
No.
So how many more times they have to lose for it to be over?
One more time.
Oh, one more.
They'll get another one.
We'll get a win in the Garden.
They'll get another one.
Do they play tonight?
No, they play Thursday. Thursday. They play Thursday. Yeah, they play tomorrow.
They'll get another one.
Jeez.
Yeah, they lost last night. Wasn't a great game, but it's okay.
Damn,
it's
the score,
okay.
was it too bad off? Like, was it like a blowout? Or
Lost by 9, right?
Yeah, lost by 9.
It really wasn't that close, though.
Yeah, but it didn't look good for the Knicks last night. They didn't play well. They should have won game 1, but it's okay. We'll shake it up. Thibodeau just got to, I think he has to coach a little differently.
Man, shut up. Thibodeau just got to coach a little differently. Players got to play a little differently. Yeah, exactly.
Because the first game, we were up, 14 with 2 minutes left. We shouldn't have lost that game. Like, that was coaching, right? We can say that was coaching. Then he decided to take out Josh Hart, who's a shooting guard. He plays the shooting guard position, a point guard position. But he's the heart of the team.
Yeah, and he
right?
can't do everything.
Exactly. He's the heart of the team. He's the one that gets the rebounds.
He's
the one that does everything. So
you know what I be noticing? The players be hitting shots. The Pacers be hitting shots and the Knicks be missing them. That's what I noticed about the game.
That was last night. That was last night. You can't do nothing with that. You can't do nothing with that. But it is what it is. So anyway, let's get the show cracking. Humble the Poet will be joining us this morning.
Yes, Humble's one of my, I like reading a lot of Humble's books. He has a new book out called Unanxious.
Okay.
Yes, Unanxious, 50 Simple Truths to Help Overthinkers Feel Less Stressed and to Feel More Calm.
Okay, so we're going to be kicking it with Humble the Poet.
Yes, and it is still Mental Health Awareness Month, so that's a good guest to have on this morning.
Yes, all right. And then we got front page news next. I'm sure she'll be breaking down everything that's going on, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Like Charlamagne mentioned earlier, the Knicks did lose last night, 121-130. Now, tonight, the Minnesota takes on OKC at 8:30 p.m. The Thunder leads that series 3-1. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, good morning. Happy Hump Day. How you feeling?
Good.
Blessed, black, and highly favored. How you?
I'm good. I love to hear it. All right. So first on front page, President Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin is playing with fire. It follows his criticism of the Kremlin on Sunday for attacks made on Ukraine, where the U.S. is attempting to broker a ceasefire. Now, Russian drones and missiles bombarded more than 24 cities across Ukraine over the weekend. The Kremlin responded to the criticism Monday, citing emotional overload at this very important moment. So again, I will keep you guys posted on those relations, relations or lack thereof, between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. It seems like things are escalating just a little bit.
As I said yesterday, those two egos could be the end of civilization as we know it. And the way they all are just casually governing through social media and casually discussing World War III and nuclear war is baffling to me. And people just throw those words around like they're nothing. Like, do you understand countries discussing World War III and nuclear war should be the only thing the media is talking about? Like, I saw North Korea say yesterday that the U.S. Golden Dome risk outer space nuclear war, and China's mad about it, and Russia's mad about it, and everybody's just going on about their day like it's nothing.
Yeah, because what else we going to do? Cry? In the words of Rihanna. Anyways, okay, yeah. Meanwhile, the war between President Trump and Harvard is also escalating. Now, the Trump administration is set to cancel the remaining Harvard federal contracts worth about $100 million. Now, the head of the Department of Justice Anti-Semitism Task Force, Leo Terrell, says this is nothing new. Let's take a listen to his comments.
This is going to be a battle in the courtroom. If it goes all the way to the Supreme Court, Trump is going to do that. We have tolerated anti-Semitism for the last 4 years. And basically the Trump administration, and thank goodness President Trump is in office, Harris, he's not going to tolerate it.
Yeah, so that's Leo Terrell, the head of the Department of Justice Anti-Semitism Task Force. Now, the move comes as the White House has accused Harvard of not doing enough to end anti-Semitism on campus. It also accuses the university of racial discrimination in its admissions process while hiring. Imagine that. So I'm just wondering, if you're pro-Palestinian, does that automatically make you anti-Semitic? Because we've long time said that if you're pro-black, that doesn't mean that you're anti-white. So I'm just curious to see you guys' thoughts on that. But
depends who you ask.
Yeah.
It just depends who you ask. Like, yes, I do agree with you that just because you're, pro anything doesn't mean you're anti anything.
Or against anything.
Yeah,
right.
but there are some people who are pro something that are completely against, the other side.
So right, and a lot of this comes after, there have been protests on the campus, pro-Palestinian protests and things of that nature. So that, it's like if you're pro-Palestinian in this administration, it means that you're anti-Semitic, or at least that's what it seems anyways. The Trump administration is also halting student visas interviews for now. Reports say the decision comes as the administration considers requiring foreign students to undergo social media screening. Imagine that. The outlet said U.S. embassies and consular sections are being ordered to put a hold on scheduling new interviews. A cable signed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and dated Tuesday said further guidance is anticipated in the coming days. Details about what the possible social media vetting would screen for were not provided. So let's end actual interviews and let's do it through social media in terms of who should and should not be in this country in regards to student visas. And Elon Musk says he is disappointed with President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. Musk said these comments in a preview of an interview that's set to air this weekend on CBS Sunday morning, that he was disappointed to see the massive spending bill because he feels that it undermines the work that the Doge team is doing. Now, it passed the House last Thursday, and this big, beautiful bill extends the tax cuts brought on by President Trump in his first term in 2017, as well as boost border and deportation funding. So Elon Musk is getting a little bit of a taste there. But that's your front page.
I'm glad Elon Musk said that too. You know what I mean? Don't treat Trump the way Democrats treated Biden and act like you don't see what we all see. When something is wrong, call it out.
Well, that was a soundbite. So let's see what else he had to say in that interview. It is set to air again this weekend on CBS Sunday morning. Elon Musk. Speaking
because
on,
he's saying what we were all saying. Like when we saw, all of the money that was in the big beautiful bill, that to us, that was wasteful spending. So I'm like, I'm like, you created those to cut wasteful spending.
But that's how it
put
should
a bunch
be.
of wasteful spending in this bill.
But that's how it should be. We should be checking people when we don't agree, right? When we agree, we agree. But when we disagree, we should be able to say it and not have any penalty on it. Correct?
That's absolutely right, Andy. That's right. All right, y'all. So that's your front page news for 6 a.m. At 7 a.m., stick around. We will talk about this mall shooting in Connecticut and and transportation. Transportation is a mess. We'll talk more about it at 7.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, good morning. This 5A Swift. How y'all doing?
Swift, what up? Get it off your chest.
Man, Amber, I had to call and throw it in your face, man.
Pause.
You New York Knicks may be going home, man. Y'all may be going home, man. It looked ugly last night. I don't think y'all stand a chance to fight back and get a win against these Pacers.
Hey, anything
It's
can
over
happen.
with.
Anything can happen. I have
Anything
faith.
can happen. They'll get one more. It'll be Pacers in 6.
Nah.
You be Knicks.
The Pacers win next game. And if the Pacers don't win next game, remember my name. I send breakfast up there to everybody on the show if the Pacers don't win this next game.
No, I think it'll be Pacers in 6. I think the Knicks will get one in the Garden.
Knicks is 7.
But see, I like breakfast, so yeah, make sure you keep that.
There you go, Jess.
Energy.
There you go.
Goodbye, Swift.
Yeah.
Hello, who's this?
This is Jay, bro. It's from Bama.
Jay, boy, what up?
What's going on, y'all? Good morning, Charlamagne, Jess, Envy.
What's up, brother? Get
Good
it off
morning,
your
good
chest.
morning.
I'm trying to figure out when y'all gonna head down south to the deep south, bro, because y'all talk about Howard and Hampton a lot, but I don't get no love from Alabama State and A&M, so I'm trying to figure out when y'all come to Alabama.
I did a car show out in Alabama, brother.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, man. A lot has changed. 2
2 years ago,
We
I
had
go to a
women
different market
tornadoes and everything.
every year. This year we going to Virginia and New Jersey. Last year we did, I can't remember. And the year before that we did Alabama.
It's time to come on back during homecoming season, bro.
And I go to homecoming out there all the time.
I'm gonna be home for South Carolina State homecoming. That's as deep as I'm going.
Oh man, come on now! You gotta see the women, the food, everything.
First of all, I don't need to be seeing no women. That's number one. I am a happily married man. I don't need to see no women. Okay, all right. But I will be at South Carolina State homecoming this year.
And salute to Spokes and Vogues and my family out in Alabama too.
We play Savannah State on October 4th.
Okay, gotcha. Well, one last thing. I'm a truck driver, and the last time I was on the show, I couldn't really blow the horn because I was in a residential area. So I want to go ahead and do that for y'all this morning.
There you go.
You don't got to do it for me. Do it for Envy.
Please do it for me.
Go ahead and blow.
There you go.
Blow Envy.
Hey, pause. Have a good one, brother.
All right, have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Y'all didn't enjoy that on the road when y'all used to drive and you see the truck drivers as a kid and you do that and they blow the horn?
And they actually do it. Absolutely.
Yes.
But see, Charlamagne didn't get out the hood until he was a little older.
Oh, you're right.
So, yeah.
Just loved it so much she married a truck driver.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So shut up.
Just loved it so much she married a truck driver.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, what's good, Envy? It's your brother out of sight, man. What's up, Charlamagne?
Out of sight. Peace, my guy. How you?
Man, everything is gorgeous out here, man. Working hard. You know, just doing what I do, man.
Yes,
I got
sir.
a new joint for you, Charlamagne.
What you got?
Yo, look, I went down to the Diddy trial, right?
Oh, boy.
You know, was walking around down there. I put out a new song. It's called Diddy Do It. Right?
Okay,
It's on YouTube right now. I filmed the video down at the trial. You know, I got a lot of footage down there. And it's by your brother out of sight. Outtaasite.
Okay, so it's called Diddy Do It. What is it based on? Is it based on actual evidence from the courtroom or stuff that you're hearing on YouTube?
Well, it's based on all of that, right? But my main message to Diddy is this, right? Everybody pointing fingers and saying stuff about Diddy. I feel like God is dealing with Diddy right now, and God is trying to humble Diddy. So I made a song about it. It's not even really a diss song. It's a song to make him aware that God is trying to talk to him right now, and he needs to repent.
That's what he needs. He needs to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because sitting in that jail cell ain't enough. He need to hear out of sight rap about it. You know what I mean? Sitting in that jail cell facing life, being away from his kids and all of that stuff, that ain't going to do it. That ain't going to make him see what's going on.
Out of sight, bro.
You need out of sight to rap about it.
Give us a little bit. Let us hear a little bit. Out of sight. Go.
Bad boy, what you gonna do when they put you in the cell and refuse to give you a bell? Cause you was walking around like G.O.D. Now you just another dude up at FDC. All of a sudden your ass want mercy and grace cause your pride was too big to keep the faith. You praying for Donald Trump to erase the case. It is what it is. You better call Pastor Mace and repent. The Lord about to take every dollar, every cent, every house, every car till both knees bend. You probably in your jail cell think about Kim. Hair getting great, body getting thin. Caught up in the spiritual war, you can't win unless you open up your heart and you let the Lord in. I'm praying for the victims allegedly, waiting for the trial of the century.
Ooh, okay. Out of sight.
And I see you got a visual on YouTube too?
Oh, that's right, it's a visual on YouTube right now. It's called Diddy Do It. That's D-I-D-D-Y, Do It.
Hey.
So what's the remix?
Out of sight.
When he gets convicted, what's going to be the remix?
I'm gonna do the old joint from the Fat Boys. You know what I'm saying? You know, in jail. I'm in jail without no bail. We gonna take it back.
Okay.
Have a good one, brother.
He got this planned out.
Yeah, he do.
He does.
Hello, who's this?
But you're an idiot.
Hey, man, it's Jalen calling from PG County, Maryland.
Jalen from
What up?
Maryland.
Shout out to DMV.
What's up, brother?
Jay Lynn.
Okay, Jalen.
Jalen, what's up?
Nah, man, I'm just calling for, first of all, to say good morning to the Breakfast Club.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But I just wanted to get off my chest and say, you know, with all this bad news we've been getting in society recently, you know, we got to win for the brothers in the black community. I just wanted to say, for all the good fathers out there, the system is changing. If you really want your kids, go to court, fight for your kids. And it's the first time in my life I had to go to court and tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I got my kids, and now my baby mother's paying me child support.
Oh, congratulations, brother.
brother.
Congratulations, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Rightfully so. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good one, brother.
I just wanted to say one more thing for you guys. Respectfully, this is for Charlamagne, man. We gotta let Loren LoRosa get through her segment. We gotta stop cutting her off and let Loren get through her segment.
She's sitting in here right now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Loren.
Loren gets through her segment just fine.
You said she get through her segment just fine?
Yes, she does.
Me and my wife, we listen every morning, and we be like, man, why Charlotte keep cutting her off? Why can't she get through her segment?
Because I be having questions just like y'all be having questions.
You know you got the slow friend in the chat who don't ever remember the plans y'all made.
Loren be at the court and don't remember what she just saw when she walked out.
No, sometimes
okay.
Sometimes she be ready to fire off on Charlamagne if we just look at her wrong. So sometimes she be distracting her damn self.
Well, we do have the latest with Loren coming up. What are we talking about?
Look at that.
KK, come on, CC.
No, let her go. No. Get the listeners what they want. Go ahead.
CC. So yesterday in court, Capricorn Clark took the stand, and when I say she was the most compelling witness I've heard this whole trial.
Really?
Whole trial.
Didn't I tell you that though?
Y'all, Diddy is, if I'm predicting, he's not coming home at all. That was the nail in the coffin. Capricorn
Didn't
Clark.
I tell you that though?
You did tell me that.
I've been telling y'all that.
I'm trying.
Well, let's break it down when we come back. This is a tease. We'll get to it when we come back because I want to know everything. And who is CC for people that don't know?
A former personal assistant, former marketing person for Sean John. She's like worked with Diddy at an executive level for some time, for some years.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that next. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Man, yesterday, y'all, Diddy's team messed up with Capricorn Clark on the stand. So Capricorn Clark, they went through a lot of things, and she was able to fill in context for a lot of things, and we'll get to that. But the biggest mess up for me was
Tell people who Capricorn Clark is.
Capricorn Clark is a previous personal assistant of Diddy's. She also came back to work for Diddy as like a head of marketing of some sorts for Sean John. She's had a few different roles because she's worked for him off and on since like 2011. But yes, so she's on a stand. They're running through like, the Kid Cudi story, which she told a different story. The Suge Knight, which she tells a different story. The lie detector test. And then the defense, Diddy's team, is trying to make the point of, okay, like, all of this stuff happened, and you say that, your experience allegedly was so gruesome, and like, you allege that you were kidnapped by gun and all these things, but let's go down the timeline of you wanting to work with Diddy again after all of these things. So you leave and you're terminated around like after 2012. She alleges that she was terminated because she finally took a vacation. They asked her, Diddy's team asked her, well, where were you on vacation? She's like, I was in the South of France with Rihanna. And they're like, okay, they're trying to paint the picture like you had a really good lifestyle. You just want that back, and you didn't get that back allegedly. And that's why you're here, and that's why you're doing all these things. And she's like, they bring up an email to show that she was in conversations about being upset that they were upset that she took this vacation. She says she gets back and she was terminated. Now, after this happened, she says that she was unable to find consistent good work at all. She's alleging that Diddy blackballed her. She says that at one point, she went and sat down in a meeting with Jimmy Iovine, who told her, like, look, this is supposed to be allegedly supposed to be a meeting about a job opportunity, but I'm here to tell you to leave that Diddy stuff alone. Like, because she had came out and said, hey, this is what happened to me. She had filed civil suit. She was going to take legal action. And she says that people were coming to her telling her not to do it. She alleges Jimmy Iovine. She also says that Andre Harrell and Diddy pulled up on her at one point at the CAA meeting that she was having. But that conversation set like a foundation of she couldn't get work. So Diddy's team now is trying to prove that like Diddy had nothing to do with that. You just weren't able to get work. So they're like, wait, we're going to show you this recommendation letter that he wrote for you in just as recent as 2021. They bring up the letter and they're like, Miss Clark, can you take a look at this letter? Refresh your memory so we can have a conversation about it. She looks and she's like, that's not from 2021. That's from 2012. And the defense attorney stops. And we all I'm just like, well, maybe they got the dates wrong, whatever. And then the defense attorney, Mark Agnifilio, says again, no, take a look at this letter. This is a recommendation letter that, Mr. Combs wrote for you in 2021. Again, they're trying to say to her, there's no way you were blackballed, allegedly, if he's
wrote
helping
this letter,
you.
right.
Exactly, right? And she's like, no, this letter is from 2012. This is from the settlement that happened between us in 2012. Now we all in the court
settlement?
Boom! Look at y'all.
Tell them what the settlement was.
So the settlement, there was she had claimed that she was blackballed. She couldn't work. She was so stressed from work that she was losing hair and all these things, right? And it amounted to her not having a job. She alleges that her home was taken. She wasn't able to provide for herself.
Right.
Her son, who was autistic, she wasn't able to provide for her son. So she was like, I need something. I'm trying to get my life back. But the settlement basically was that they came together. Her and Diddy allegedly agreed that they wouldn't go anywhere and disparage each other as long as she was settled out. But a part of that settlement was she asked for the recommendation letter to happen because she wanted to be able to work.
So she knew where that letter was coming from, so the defense had it wrong.
Oh, not only did she know where it was coming from, when she clarified with Diddy's attorney, she said, they said, well, look at the bottom of that letter. Isn't that Mr. Combs' signature? She said, yeah, but I wrote this letter.
Jesus.
So
how much did she get? Did they say?
They asked. They were trying to figure out whether she could say it on the stand or not, and we didn't find out. But we tried to get to it. They tried to get to it a couple times.
And then what did the prosecution do after that?
The prosecution after that came back in and said, oh, okay, well, now that it's been introduced, right, that this settlement happened, the door is open. Let's have a conversation about that time period in your life. Oh my gosh, she was already breaking down because the defense was pushing and it worked to the prosecution's favor because she literally broke down. But the prosecutors are like, well, let's get into it, because they also brought up this meeting that she had in April 2024. This is after the raids had happened and all that stuff, right? And the defense tried to make it seem like, again, this is you just trying to come back and work for Puff, and why would you do that? You're willing to stand beside him after all these things have happened, but you had these claims and all the settlement or whatever. Prosecution's like, please explain why you want to do that meeting. Y'all, when I tell y'all, she's bawling in tears, and we're all just like, wow. She's like, look, I felt like basically it was better to be an ally than to be against him. I had come out, I made the claims that I made. We figured out this settlement. I went through so much since 2012 trying to get my life back. So when there was a conversation between my attorneys and the defense attorneys about coming back in April 2024, because basically they were trying to allegedly fix things. Like they wanted to figure out how they could restructure Diddy because everything was happening, the raids and all this stuff. So they wanted to use her as like, the defense says she suggested it. The prosecution brought out of her that it was a conversation that was brought to her. She just entertained it. That she would basically be like, I'm the woman who's been here since 2010, 2011, 2012, known him since 2004. Basically, if I'm still here and I'm sitting beside him and I'm running all these things and I know the original formula, the businesses will still be able to go, but also it's a good look because all of these claims are from this time period where I was around. Why would I stand next to him in such a big way? And she's like, I only entertained that because I wanted my life back. Like, I literally lost everything, allegedly. And like, man, she talked about...
And in response to that referral letter that she wrote and Diddy signed, they wouldn't even have bought in the settlement if it wasn't for that, right?
No.
That wouldn't even have came up in court.
Right? I don't know.
You'd have never known that Diddy settled with her back then.
The prosecution, even, it was mentioned like, they briefly were like mentioning the things and like kind of like there was so much that they were getting to because she was able to paint the picture of so many different things. But us being able to have the conversation about that recommendation letter, finding out that she wrote the letter, finding out that that was a part of the settlement, finding out that it was a part of the settlement because basically she was trying to make where she could work again. All of that came because Diddy's attorney introduced it, and he thought that he was proving something recent, and it backfired. Then she started talking about even being able to Chris Lighty. She brought up Chris Lighty, right?
But let me ask you a question. What part of the trial is that what he's charged with? Because it wasn't she part of the kidnapping, right? Because she didn't get to that yet.
I didn't. She alleges that she was kidnapped by gunpoint and taken to Kid Cudi's house, and that she was made to stay in the car while they allegedly chased Kid Cudi through the Hollywood Hills. Kid Cudi didn't tell us that there was a chase. She alleges that she was overworked and underpaid, causing like physical change to her body and mental stress. She alleges that Diddy used his power to basically strip her of everything. Her home allegedly was being paid for by him. Her car. everything was taken from her the minute that she started complaining about things that she saw because she had witnessed the Diddy and Cassie physically get into it. And they tried to paint her as this like love struck, I had a crush on Diddy, I was jealous of Cassie, and she broke down crying and she said, I wasn't jealous of Cassie, I was upset that he messed up the program. He let this woman come in, mess up everything, and my life depends on this. My stakes are higher.
Now, didn't she say something like he didn't stop Cassie's career? Cassie stopped her own career because she wasn't talented?
Cassie is not the biggest Cassie fan at all. Me and you was not on replay. She basically said that she felt like Cassie was giving all of these resources and didn't deserve them because she got by and she sung a little bit. Like, that was cute. But yeah, she said that, she wasn't like she ain't no Whitney Houston.
She wasn't a star.
Yeah,
the whole world know that.
That's how you know she's an honest witness.
Yeah, definitely honest.
And it wasn't hating. She was literally being honest.
But that's the best honest because she's there for herself. Last question. You was mentioning Chris Lighty, and Chris Lighty died. And if you don't know who Chris Lighty is, Chris Lighty used to manage, started a company with Mona Scott. Violator was the name of the company. They managed Missy, Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent at one time, Nori at one time, and a host of others. So what happened with Chris Lighty?
She was talking about trying to get her life back and get a job when we were having a conversation about that recommendation letter. And they said she mentioned at one point she had gotten a job offer from Chris Lighty, and then like the day before she was about to start, day of, he died. And then she broke down crying again.
How did he die?
So it's alleged suicide. Yeah, right.
Suicide.
But yes.
But they didn't believe that because a lot of people said they didn't believe it was suicide. They thought maybe something else happened. But did that come up at all?
No, she didn't. It was just a mention of her telling a story about how she was meeting with all these big names and people were trying to look out for her. But then there were people who were like, "No, we're not looking out for you. We're not touching you."
Wow. All right. Well, that is the latest with Loren. All right, we got more next hour. Now, who's on trial today? Who's talking today?
Today they're going to talk to Cassie's stylist. His name is Deontay. They're also going to talk to an arson investigator and a LAPD officer.
Okay. All right. When we come back, we got front page news. And then Humble Poe will be joining us. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Knicks fans, we lost last night. Pacers beat us 130-121. The next game is tomorrow. But tonight, the Timberwolves and OKC. The Thunder lead the series 3-1. That game happens at 8:30.
You was talking earlier about coaching. The one thing I don't understand is why the Knicks keep trying to run with the Pacers. Like, why don't they don't slow the pace of the game down and play half court basketball? They can't run with the pace.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But I'm feeling sorry for Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns look like he got 49-year-old knees.
Yeah, running back and forth is real difficult. And the crazy part is, I feel like the Knicks are always on the floor. Like they always.
Well, yeah, they don't go deep at all. Like they might rotate 7 players.
But they've been going a little deeper. Pause.
They don't go deep.
Pause.
You said they're going deeper. Y'all got 2 different stories.
A little pause. Good morning, Morgan.
Yeah, so a man connected to a mall shooting in Connecticut is now in custody as 5 people recover from their injuries. Now, shots rang out yesterday afternoon at the Brass Mill Center in Waterbury, Connecticut, after an argument escalated. Now, police say the gunman, believed to be in his 20s, used a semi-automatic pistol and fired at multiple people. Waterbury Police Chief Fernando Spagnolo says there are no deaths and other law enforcement agencies are assisting in the investigation. Let's take a listen to his comments.
Several victims suffering from gunshot wounds. They were all transported to local hospitals. Currently, they're being worked on and receiving medical treatment, and there are no fatalities at this time. We are working in the mall right now with our law enforcement partners from all the federal agencies, the state police, conducting this investigation.
Yes, so following the shooting, there was a massive police response at the Brass Mill Center in Waterbury. Several government agencies have joined the local police with their investigation, and all 5 victims are expected to survive. Switching gears, the summer travel season has begun this year, and there are concerns of airport delays due to shortage of air traffic controllers. President Trump's transportation secretary, Sean Duffy, says he's frustrated too, adding that the shortage of air traffic controllers is at a critical level, and he's trying to get 25-year veterans who are eligible for retirement to stay on the job. Let's take a listen to his comments in part.
We're 3,000 short. We've been 3,000 short for some time. Love airports, but I don't want to spend 4 hours in an airport waiting to see if my flight's going to take off. We are offering them a 20% bonus up front to stay on the job. Please don't retire
Yeah, so this is a nationwide problem. And it's also being, of course, you guys know and you're familiar with what's going on at Newark Liberty Airport, but it's also happening in Texas as well. The latest FAA data shows that San Antonio's airport is 20% short of their staffing goal. Houston's Hobby Airport is almost 20% short as well. And just last week, a shortage of air traffic controllers at Austin's airport prompted the FAA to issue a ground stop. So more than 150 flights were delayed. I mean, you guys are ripping and running in the sky. So have you noticed any difference as you're traveling as well?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot fly into EWR. I can't fly out. And when I do try, it's delayed until it's canceled.
Yeah. Well, where was I coming from? I was coming from Orlando, and we had to stop in Richmond because there was something going on at Newark. I think they said the radars were out. So we had to stop in Richmond and wait for the radars to come back on in Newark. But, here's what I don't understand. In early 2025, Doge fired, they did mass firings of FAA employees, including air traffic controllers. Why not just hire those people back?
Oh, that part, I don't know.
If they want to come back, yeah.
Like, if I'm Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, I'm literally just going to hire those people back.
Yeah, like as opposed to getting the 20-year vets, 25-year vets to stay on the job. But yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't know how many of those people exactly were air traffic control workers, but they did do mass firings, of the FAA, and a lot of them were air traffic controllers and safety professionals. Why not just bring those people back?
Would they argue that? Would the government argue that they don't have the money to pay them? Because wasn't it supposedly why they fired them, though?
I mean, you got to
see what's happening now.
Yeah, right. To me, those are essential workers. You got to have the money to pay essential
absolutely,
workers.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing around with that. And to answer your question, I ain't flying into Newark. I'd rather fly into JFK, which takes me an extra 45 minutes to an hour, or LaGuardia. I just don't. I'm scared of Newark.
The crazy thing about all of those airports now, they have less flights. I don't know if y'all have noticed that.
Yeah, JFK and LaGuardia. Yep. So I had to fly into Philly from Boston because I didn't want to drive. I had to fly into Philly because I wanted to because it just wasn't. It wasn't a lot of them. You know how they would have flights leaving every hour when you that close? Not no more.
Damn.
All right, and just keeping in line with the travel, attention Southwest passengers, Southwest Airlines. That is the final boarding call for free checked bags on Southwest. The carrier's popular 2 bags fly free perk is over officially. Now, Southwest says the move is being made to drive revenue growth. It's an about phase 4 Southwest CEO Bob Jordan, who said back in September that having no bag fees was a huge consumer advantage. But now Southwest is also set to end open seating in the first half of 2026. So we anticipate a lot of changes in travel and aviation. I asked you guys earlier this year.
What you mean they stopping open seating? They not doing musical chairs no more on Southwest?
No. Oh, nah. You know how you
get assigned seats now?
Yeah, you're gonna have to select your seating as well when you purchase your.
I think that's better anyway.
Yeah, they used to do musical chairs. You used to walk on. First of all, I stopped flying Southwest a long time ago just because it's disgusting.
I like Southwest. I don't know what you're talking about, but I like Southwest.
But you get on Southwest and the music starts playing. Then when the music stops, everybody got to try to find their seat. They literally play musical chairs.
Nah, because you know what people do is let's say I will pay for to get on first, and then I'll get on and then hold the seat next to me for my spouse. And I'm like, me and the lady got into an argument. The only time I ever flew Southwest, and that was the last time.
Damn. And you flew your wife on Southwest?
No, I was by myself. No, my wife wasn't on Southwest.
I've never flown Southwest because I've never done it because it just sounded like crazy to me. I think I might have flew it once.
You would have put me on it.
I put you on Southwest?
Yes.
Listen.
Charlamagne put me on it was the only time I was on it.
Well, I learned fast. Okay.
I will speak up for Southwest. Southwest will get your ass there. They the only airline that got the least connecting flights. They'll get your ass straight there. I ain't been on Southwest in a while, but I used to fly Southwest all the time.
I just don't like the musical chairs of it all. Yeah, like that don't make no sense to me. Everybody just go on there and pick your seat. Like that just sounds like problems.
Yeah, well, make sure you get that early boarding group, and then you'll be all right. Check in on time.
Well, guess what? It's dead. There's no more.
It's over. That's a wrap.
Okay.
All right, y'all. That's your front page news. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app. Visit us at BINnews.com. Listen, we have an amazing announcement. I cannot say too much about it right now because we're still under embargo at the 7 o'clock hour. But at 8 o'clock, make sure y'all check out Black Information Network. We have an amazing, amazing announcement that is going to break at 8 o'clock this morning. So stick around. Stick around. And y'all see it. Maybe y'all talk about it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Morgan.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too now. All right, when we come back, Humble the Poet will be joining us. You know, he's an author, hip-hop artist, speaker, designer, filmmaker, creative consultant, and he has a new book, Unanxious, and we'll talk to him next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Humble the Poet. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. New book, Unanxious. 50 Simple Truths to Help Overthinkers Feel Less Stress and More Calm. Morning.
Good morning.
How you feeling?
Feeling fantastic.
Good.
Easier said than done, but it can be done as somebody who deals with anxiety.
You know what? It gets harder and harder, but it gets more and more worth it.
Yes, I agree.
And we just got to change the conversation, and I'm realizing that. Like, step one, stop talking about anxiety like it's herpes.
Like it's herpes?
Yeah. I have anxiety. She has anxiety. Anxiety is a normal feeling. Anxiety is a signal. It's like hunger. You don't say, I'm hungry, what's wrong with me? You say, I feel hungry because it's been like 8 hours since I ate. It's the same thing. Like Mel Robbins said it. Instead of saying I'm anxious, say I feel anxious because.
Yeah.
I feel anxious because I got bills to pay. I feel anxious because somebody I like hasn't texted me back. I feel anxious because I drank too many coffees this morning. And it's like knowing the reason allows you to understand the first step instead of looking at ourselves like we're failing because we have this signal and this emotion. Because when we think we're failing, we have anxiety, what do? We try to distract, we try to medicate, we try to avoid.
What got you to the point where you said you needed a reboot? What got you there? But like, this is time.
My entire life, I've always just been focusing on freedom. I grew up in an activist space, but also like, I want to be financially free. I don't want to have a day job. I don't want all these things. And then when you start jumping out of these cages, you start realizing the biggest cage you've ever built is the one that you built for yourself. And what we do is we decorate it by, negotiating. We decorate it by using our intelligence, and we start saying, no, I'm not a slave to my habits. I'm not a slave to my impulses. Like, I just want to enjoy life. I just want to experience the depths of life. But we're just intellectualizing our addiction. So I realized I've hit that point in my life where I was like, oh, the biggest cages, the biggest fences that I'm stuck behind are the ones that I built. And I realized, like, okay, the basic story is something on the outside needs to happen for me to feel calm and safe on the inside. That's the relationship. All of this anxiety talk is that simple idea. Something on the outside needs to happen for me to feel safe on the inside. Whether that's taking a vape, whether that's drinking alcohol, whether that's having sex, whether that's eating in front of the TV, whether that's taking your phone to the toilet. Because for people who take their phone to the toilet, try not to take your phone to the toilet and you will have an anxiety attack. For people, a friend of mine always eats in front of TikTok, and I said, try it one time. Try it one time not to eat with your screen on. They ate half the meal because we realize we live in a world and a system that gets very powerful when we're on autopilot. And that autopilot is us outsourcing our stimulation, outsourcing our regulation. We're like, yo, I can only feel safe from things on the outside. I need that just to get to zero. But when you let it all go and you go through this process, and it sucks. You know what I mean? The withdrawal sucks. Then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I can create this dopamine on the inside. Dopamine from the outside hijacks you. Dopamine from the inside builds you.
What does an anxiety attack look like?
So anxiety, just from a scientific... So I want people to understand this conversation is not philosophical, it's not spiritual, it's not moral. This conversation is just psychological and biological. So I'm not here to judge anybody's choices. Anxiety is just adrenaline and cortisol. So what happens is the body doesn't know what's happening. The body just knows things are changing. So when the body gets charged, it thinks there's danger. That's what we call it fight or flight. But there's more levels. It's called the polyvagal system. You have freeze. So if something intense happens, we just freeze. Someone puts a gun to your face, you've never seen a gun before, you're just going to freeze. You don't get to choose that. Then there's fight or flight, which now has turned into fight or scroll. And then we also have safety. And then the new one that's being introduced right now is fawn, right? So freeze is play dead. Fight or flight is run away or fight. Fawn is I'm going to make you love me. So this is a big one, especially for men, because men aren't walking into romantic situations thinking about their safety the way women do. But men have to think about safety, and they don't realize when they feel unsafe, which is nervous, they fawn. They get extra charming. And now we're performing, right? And we have to recognize that. So it took me 15 days of not doing all the big stuff to realize that there's a second layer to this, a third layer, a fourth layer. You have to keep going down. So yeah, cool, performing for beautiful women. But also, like, my nephew was just here on the weekend visiting. I started performing for him because I want to be the cool uncle. That's also fawning. That's also an anxiety. That's me trying to avoid anxious feelings.
Right.
Like the moral of the story is feel your feelings, and it's going to suck. Put the phone away, eat the meal, feel the burn that's about to come. That burn is adrenaline and cortisol. That's what you need to protect your kids. That's what you need to get away from danger. But we're getting triggered in moments that aren't physically dangerous anymore.
Do you feel like we take the word anxiety and it's used too much?
Already, for sure.
From what you're saying, it's a natural feeling, right? I'm about to go on stage. There's thousands of people out there. You get a little anxious, but it's not like a lot of us, I'm sure some people do, but we don't get that anxious where it's like, oh, I can't go on stage. It's like you get that little feeling and then it's like, all right, I got to go. And then you just go and do it. But I feel like a lot of times people use the word anxious and anxiety as such a negative tool. It's like a nasty, naughty word when you talk about it sometimes.
Absolutely. As I said, we treat it like it's herpes. Like we treat it like it's a condition, and only some people have it, some people don't. We give it like my anxiety, like it's an individual problem. Anxiety is a society problem.
Well, some people do have anxiety disorders where they actually have to take medication.
Absolutely, people have anxiety disorders, but the situation with that is if you have an anxiety disorder, if you're bipolar, if you have any mental health issue, there are still things that we can all do to improve how we feel. I'm not saying we're going to cure it. I'm not even saying we can reboot and delete our old system, but we can make choices, simple choices. Get more sleep than you need, drink more water than you need, get more sunlight than you need, and stay away from ass.
Which is why knowing the word anxiety is good. Like I think knowing the language and knowing what it is you're going through is good, because now you can identify it and then you can find cures for it.
So the issue with that is, and it's kind of like the word woke, right?
Woke,
like that came from Erykah Badu, right? Stay woke, and then Childish Gambino made it even more popular. And it meant something. It meant be aware. It meant be self-aware. I mean, know what's going on. And now it's been weaponized and changed the other way. It's almost an insult now, right? Oh, the woke mob, the woke. Language changes. That's what happened with mental health. You know, we're all millennials. We remember back in the days when you talked about mental health, people thought that meant like insane asylums and straitjackets. Then we got to like, okay, things have been normalized. You don't have to be embarrassed to say that you saw a therapist or something. Now it's gone too far the other way, where we treat mental health and we use that language completely incorrectly. We think we have to protect our mental health. Like it's some like crystal flower that like if somebody come near us, we have to protect our peace, we have to protect our mental health. Mental health is just like physical health. So what I'm going to say is the word's been used up, it's been weaponized just like, well, let's use mental fitness. Because you don't say when it comes to your physical health, well, I'm not going to climb these stairs because gravity is going to make it harder. It's like, no, the only way that you can climb stairs is to keep climbing it. We have machines in the gym just for you to climb stairs when you don't even need to climb stairs. Why? To prepare you for the times that you have to. We out here deadlifting, lifting heavy weights. The heavier the weight, the more we know the workout mattered. So then when our friends ask us to move a couch, and again, if you're over 30, stop asking your friends to help you move a couch. But when you're ready to do it because you were voluntarily putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, we don't have that for our mental health. We don't have mental fitness training. We're not voluntarily putting ourselves in uncomfortable mental situations so we get stronger. Instead, we're like, I got to protect my peace. No, your peace protects you. You don't protect your mental health. Your mental health protects you, just like your physical health protects you. You want to be able to pick up your kids, so you go to the gym. You don't say, my kids are heavy, gravity keeps holding them down. I wish we lived on the moon, it would be lighter. No, you're like, I got to go to the gym. For longer and longer, I can hold my kids. Up to the point where I'm going to the gym just so I can open a jar when I'm 80.
We're still kicking it with Humble the Poet. His new book, Unanxious, is out right now. Jess?
All right. Interviews give me anxiety. Like, they used to give me, like, I love meeting people and all that, but I never know what I want to ask. You get what I'm saying? So, but I can't just not do it. This is my job. Like, I can't just not do it. So I have to face it head on. And both of them give me tips. They, you know, mentor me with it as well. And I'm getting better at it. I'm not as good as I feel like I want to be or I should be, but I still get anxiety doing interviews, you know, just being as transparent as I can be. But it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. But sometimes, depending on the person or whatever, I'm like, yo, I'd be like, no, yo, I ain't trying to do this. Loren, step in or whatever. You know what I mean? She's our other co-host. But how would you treat that? Or how would you give me advice?
You're illustrating the point. You're illustrating the point perfectly. And in the beginning, because you're new to this, you know, especially in comparison to folks that have been doing it for like over a decade, your body's like, this is new, this is uncomfortable, I don't want to do it. That's generally what the body's saying. The amygdala, the little tiny almond-sized part of our brain is just like, I don't know what this is, it's got to be dangerous. Right? So that's what your body's saying to you. And the only way, and this is the reason that this has to go beyond this book. We can hear these ideas, but the only way the body can actually believe this is through practice. And the only reason you're getting less and less anxious feelings around the interviews is by doing more and more interviews.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just like, this don't feel good, I'm never going to do it. Let me go find a different job. Let me go, do something else so I don't want to feel this. Now you're robbing yourself of resilience.
Right.
Who you're going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now by doing more and more interviews, you're getting your reps in. This is part of your mental fitness that you're doing. This exactly illustrates the point. And I'm not saying take on too much weight. Just like when you go to the gym, don't take on too much weight. Start light. Focus on your form. It's the same thing. Ease yourself in, get into it. But it gets to the point where you realize all of these things that we've been avoiding, we've been outsourcing our safety through our phones, through everything.
Because it's like if you follow, let's say, a site, right, or a social media site,
Yeah.
and all the social media site does nothing but post negativity.
Yeah.
And if you say, you know what, I'm gonna leave that alone because it f's up my energy. At the
Yeah,
end
I'm
of the day.
unfollow it. I'm gonna block
I don't
it.
see
Yeah.
a problem with that. That
That's
protects
diet.
your energy.
That's diet. That's sugar. You're realizing I'm outsourcing my dopamine, and that's hijacking me.
I mean,
Right?
that's not a bad thing to
That's
protect
not
that energy.
no. That's not a bad thing. And here's the thing, because I was thinking about that. Because I know there was a J. Cole interview where he did 2 years off social media, and then he came back and he was like, "Oh, it was like I never left."
Right.
It's kind of like eating a salty potato chip. You're like, I ain't had one 2 years. All of a sudden, perfect example. I haven't been on social media for a month. Obviously, I went on the Breakfast Club yesterday to look stuff up, and then all of a sudden, I fell down the rabbit hole. I found, the Job Is Mine video. I saw. Then I wasn't even on the site anymore. Now I'm watching, 10 times people tried to check Charlamagne. I'm watching this stuff that's not even on the Breakfast Club.
Correct.
And I got lost in it. I got into autopilot. So it's understanding that this stuff was still created by the smartest people in the world, who were paid by the richest people in the world for the explicit goal of hijacking us and keeping us in autopilot.
Absolutely.
Right?
So it sounds like you're saying we should disconnect.
Not just disconnect from your phone. Your phone is one of the bosses. We got to disconnect from everything. And if we do it from everything long enough, then we can go back. But the goal here is sovereignty. And sovereignty is different from freedom, because freedom is I can do whatever I want. Sovereignty is I can control who I am.
So this isn't for people who actually have anxiety disorders. It's people who just deal with everyday anxiousness.
Well, what I'm going to say is, because, as I said, the pendulum in the mental health conversation has gone so far, so many of us are self-diagnosing. That's step number one.
I agree with that.
Step number two is if you have even a diagnosed anxiety disorder, let's just say your body produces extra cortisol and adrenaline, there are still choices and decisions that you can make that will improve how you feel in a day-to-day life.
I agree.
And that's the important part. It's like we're not standing in one spot. We're either we're either strengthening our sovereignty or strengthening our slavery. Every single day with the choices that we make, irrespective of what our mental health diagnosis is. And the other thing too with mental health conversations and cultures, we use those words as the end of the story.
I agree with what you're saying, because we talk about it, but then we don't do the healing work.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the actual healing of it.
Yeah. Like if you've been diagnosed with a broken arm and then you out there walking and lifting heavy things, that's going to make, nobody's arguing that your arm isn't broken, but the choices that you make moving forward are either going to speed up the healing. You can't speed up the healing. Sorry. It's either going to slow down the healing or destroy the healing.
That's right.
Right? We can't really speed up healing. We just have healing just takes time. You got to respect the time for it. It's the same thing with these mental health diagnoses that we have.
And we don't talk about the healing part of it enough.
We don't.
I think that there's a lot of conversation about, what it is people are dealing with, but not how to actually get through it.
Absolutely. So when you got to think about anxiety like an iceberg. You can only see the tip, and there's like 90% underneath. We have no idea what's happening because we haven't done the work to just revisit it. And that work can easily just be journaling and being like, why did this thing make me feel that way? Versus that stuff makes me feel gross. I don't want, because even going to social media, why is social media triggering me? Well, it's letting me know, other people are doing things. I'm seeing other people's highlight reels. I'm comparing it to my behind the scenes, and that's making me feel less valuable. That's making me feel less seen. That's making me feel all these things. It's just the awareness. The goal here is self-awareness and being able to sit and do absolutely nothing if we want to improve how we feel.
Well, it's just always negative. Social media used to be fun all the time. I used to love to be on it. It's just always negative now. And people talk about like, oh, the algorithm. Nah, it's literally people. Now that people feel like they have a voice and everybody can be heard and everybody, they attack it even when it's not warranted. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't even think it's like us, what we're seeing, how we're programming us. I think you see it and you put it in our face, pause. You see it when they put it in our face a certain amount of times, like a number of times, we can actually make that decision to be like, yo, I'm not subscribing to this.
But let's look at it this way: if you give a kid a full bag of candy every single day, and we say, well, they should just be able to make the decision not to eat all that candy, right? When they're really young. How long has social media existed? We are children when it comes to social media. This is the candy. Yeah. This is like the ultimate candy. This is the new epidemic. We're in a dopamine epidemic. They flooded the streets with dopamine. We are not designed to know as many people as we know. We're not designed to know about all the news happening everywhere all the time, right? And then this is a system that encourages negativity. It rewards negativity. If you
fueled by the 7 deadly sins.
It's fueled by those. And think about it. If you post a picture tomorrow and everyone's just like, oh, you look great, you look great, you look great. And then I just comment, well, you don't look all that today. That comment will pop up straight to the top. It's going to get the most replies.
And that'll be the one that make me mad because like, how you don't see what everybody else seeing?
That's the one. Yeah, but you probably will notice that comment more than the other. The other ones will blend in. We have a negative bias. That's just in us. Why do we have a negative bias? Because we used to live in the wild. We had to assume the worst. You're walking through the forest and you hear a sound, you have to assume it's something that's going to kill you. Because if you're wrong, cool. If you're right, you're in danger. We have to assume the worst. Smart people, really smart people who were paid by very rich people understand this, and they've used it to hijack our attention. Our attention and our focus is the most important thing that we have.
We're still kicking it with author, speaker, designer, filmmaker, creative consultant, and he has a new book, Unanxious, Humble a Poet. Jess?
Going back, you said porn, you can't ever go back to it, right?
Yeah.
But do you still ever desire or crave it?
Yes.
You know?
Everything.
Okay, so you do.
As I said, craving is a memory of comfort.
Right.
Right? So that's not going to go. As I said, this is not a moral conversation. This is not porn is right, porn is wrong. This is just, it's a product. It's like sugar. I'm not here to judge sugar, but we know what sugar does, right? Porn is like sugar for your brain. It rewires your brain. Like there's science behind this. I'm not making this stuff up. I was on the Pornhub podcast. You know,
They had a podcast?
Yeah, they have a podcast. I was on there and I had a great conversation with them.
Nice.
That's not it's the product, right? It's an addictive product, just like coffee, just like alcohol. These are physically addictive things. The goal is.
Hey, your mouth started watering thinking about it yourself.
No, but let's do it. As I said, I'm not here on some like holier than thou stuff. Like I'm just saying. I'm not. You start reminiscing, right? But at the same time, it's like, listen. At the end of the day, the goal here is we're not going to be able to totally overhaul our system.
Yeah.
We've had this software for 50, 60, 70 generations as humans, right? This world we live in, 2-3 generations. We're not used to living in cities with millions of people. So this is a situation. So when it comes to stuff like porn, it's like the goal is, as I said, it's the same thing with pizza. It's like, yeah, I like pizza. It's cool. When I walk by a pizza spot right now, I don't completely Jones for the pizza. But if someone invites me out, I can enjoy it and I can understand its value. But I don't have to look to it to just get me back to calm. This whole idea, you know, what we're chasing even with the porn is the post clarity. And what is that? We have just dysregulated our system so much that we finally, through that release, get a little bit of clarity.
But what if you look at porn as something that leads to the and then once you get
absolutely,
you have the clarity.
Well, that's you have the clarity, or you spend enough time away from all of this stuff, you can live in the clarity. You can live in that clarity.
Live in the like you saying, like not living.
No, because we don't call it clarity. We call it post clarity. The clarity, you can live in that. That could be your default. Because think about it, especially for guys, that post clarity is the moment you're like, I have just been operating on autopilot. I just spent a bunch of money. I did this, I did that. I said all the things I didn't mean. What is it? Or I like this. I want to be around this person. I found wifey.
This is so interesting. So what if you take the and then rub it on your nipples?
You know what? Let's be, no, we could talk about that. That's an example of somebody who is continually outsourcing dopamine to the point where they have unlimited resources, they have unlimited power, so it just got wilder and wilder and wilder and wilder.
But I also feel like if he would have been into porn and Pornhub like that and got his off watching that, he wouldn't have to do it in person and there's nobody to tell on him.
So Chris Rock said it in Tambourine, and I remember this. And he's like, porn is an issue because your porn searches evolve. But you was, it's just like Fat Joe said, today's price ain't yesterday's price. What you was looking up 5 years ago ain't what you're looking up now. Because it's not enough. Now. More choices, but also you need it to elevate. You need more hot sauce. It's not one drop anymore.
I get it. I understand what you're saying.
We're outsourcing. That's all it is. And every time we outsource, right, we're getting sedated. So going back to the activism, going back to the freedom, we got to realize we don't live in this dystopian 1984 world with authoritarian governments. We live in the brave new world where they're controlling us through comfort. That's the tool. If you want to get
Don't speak
rich,
too fast about the authoritarian government either. We're on track.
we're on track, but we got to realize if we don't have internal sovereignty, it doesn't matter.
Well, were you sovereign when you were naked and anxious in Germany?
No.
Okay.
That's a perfect example. My homeboy lives in Germany. He's my oldest friend. I've known him since we were 4 years old. He's like, yo, I'm going to take you to the spa. And I'm like, candles, massage, that sounds perfect. We're on the bus because he don't drive. And we're headed to the spa. And then I'm like, you know what's going to be really good for this spa? I'm going to take an edible. So I eat an edible. I'm like, it's going to feel perfect. And then he goes, man, I'm so proud of you. You're so open-minded. None of the other guys in our crew would ever do this. And I was like, what are you talking about? Do what? He's like, the naked part. And I was like, yeah, you're naked in a massage, but they put a blanket over you or something. He's like, no, when we're in the steam room together. I'm like, that's not a spa, that's a sauna. And he's like, oh man, I mixed up the words. So at this point, we're going to an all-nude sauna in Germany, and I already popped the edible.
And you didn't know. You didn't even expect this.
No, I was expecting a massage. I thought I hurt my shoulder. Yeah. So then it was, obviously the anxiety jumps up. I'm going to be naked in Europe. It's probably normal for them. It's not normal for me. I'm going to be naked in front of my friend. I ain't never done this before. And then you start to realize so now you're in reaction mode. And now you're scared. And plus the edibles hitting was making it even worse. First thing that I did was I expressed it. I just used word. I'm like, look, man, I didn't realize what this was. And you could have put me in a cage by complimenting me and saying I'm open-minded and I want to live up to that. But I'm scared. And he's like, you're scared? I'm scared too. And then we realize we're not even scared about being naked. We're scared about being judged. And then when we get there, you realize, oh, I thought it's going to be like everyone's normal. Everybody thinks this is normal. I'm the only person feeling awkward. I could tell everybody, like there's a lot of this. Everybody was feeling awkward. And that collective vulnerability made it a little bit easier. But just like your interviews, the longer I stayed, the more comfortable I got. Listen, I'm ready for a Charlamagne comment. I'm ready. I'm ready.
It just sounds like he was trying to take the friendship to another level.
Flirting.
No.
It did,
I didn't
though.
say flirting.
No, it did though. But it did. I've known him since we were 4, and it did. Being naked with your friend will do that. Being vulnerable. That's what vulnerable. We measure friendships in terms of length. You got to measure relationships in terms of vulnerability.
God damn. Jesus Christ, humble. What the? So y'all had to sit naked in the sauna to be like, that's my friend. That's my friend right there.
That's not really my friend.
See how long it is? He's not really my friend.
Lord.
I was ready for it.
See how this is not.
It's okay. I was ready for it. And look, you're not wrong. At the end of the day, you're not wrong. At the end of the day, it's still about being vulnerable. Relationships only grow through being vulnerable, and being vulnerable is being naked. Either you're being naked with your body or you're being naked with your feelings.
The honest question. All questions are honest, but when you were in the sauna, boy, and you looked around and you realized, I'm bigger than a lot of guys in here. Did that make you feel more comfortable?
But how do you know he was bigger? He could have been smaller.
Because he can see. He got eyes. Well, he could have been smaller too, but.
Well, he could, because obviously he just said he wasn't scared about being naked. He was scared about being judged. So we know he got.
Listen. I could have been. No, your boy's shoe size 11.5. I'm okay.
Okay.
We're fine.
What were you?
We're fine. Look, like that. You know what it is with insecurities is like, like for example, if somebody has a certain height, they don't think about their height. People who lack something have an insecurity. Not judge. And again, I can't judge somebody for the genetic lottery they won. So like that's not much of an issue. But I think for me, it was more along the lines of like, I didn't want to get caught staring by somebody, if you see a woman or whatever. And then...
so it's men and women in the sauna?
No, it's just men.
No.
Oh.
Men, women, and then once I got comfortable, then they just threw in the next mix, kids.
Oh, hell
no. What?
There were full nuclear families there. I didn't know any of this.
So is this cultural? Like this is like...
I don't know how they do it in Germany. At the end of the day, I thought I was getting a massage. Instead, it was just a bunch of sauna rooms and cold plunges. And I don't know why people couldn't wear clothes. And in the beginning, I was just like, all right, I'm in a different country. This is their stuff.
Yeah.
But as I said, I did not feel like most of the people in that room were comfortable either. It didn't feel normalized, right? So it wasn't like if somebody lived in a culture where, like, you know, men walk around topless and then all of a sudden they come to the beach and they feel weird. No, I felt like everybody felt kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I got comfortable with all the adult stuff, then I remember going outside where there's like a pool area and then just seeing kids running around. I was like, oh no, this is a whole different level. I'm not even trying to get used to this. And it was, but as they said, like, it's incrementally making yourself uncomfortable and to sing and then being like, all right, the longer I'm in it, the more my body realizes. And this has been my mantra for this whole last 30 days, which is this sucks, but I'm not in danger.
Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Humble the Poet.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you for joining us, brother.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Charlamagne, me and you. Spa.
Naked. Germany. They ain't gotta go to Germany
I'm
to
not
do
John
it.
Travolta.
Me and you.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You don't be vulnerable with me?
That's it. That'll solidify.
No.
It's Humble the Poet. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Lauren becoming a straight.
Look at me, bro.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you. Wow.
The latest with Lauren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
On the Breakfast Club.
How y'all hear each other over all the music?
I don't know.
Read lips.
I'm so happy to just be here and not be in a rush today.
See, Charlamagne said he wanted to go to Spa with me, but go ahead, continue on. What's up, Lauren?
Yeah, because you've been leaving me in class with these two for like the last 2 weeks. It's not been fun. So
I miss you
glad
guys.
I miss you too.
Where you been?
In court.
And
I
in
feel
the
so
DR.
you don't feel disconnected from me?
No.
Well, speaking of disconnecting, I mean, really not speaking of disconnecting, but Nicki Minaj is not DL. She's not coming out of the closet.
Oh my God, who said she was?
Yeah, who said that?
Where did that come from?
Do you see this photo right here of Nicki Minaj literally in a closet?
Yes.
So Nicki Minaj, she just did the cover of Vogue Italia, and this was one of the photos from the photo shoot. She looks gorgeous in the photo shoot. But one of her fans got online and posted this photo and said, "This is not just a photo. This is Nicki Minaj letting the world know that she is DL." And Nicki Minaj commented, she retweeted it, and she said, "No." And
that was it.
People, yes, because the tweet was going and people would begin to pick that up. But the interview itself that she did was a lengthy interview with Vogue Italia, but she talked about a lot of things. Being a mom, you know, she's been talking a lot about motherhood. She's talking about her new music that's coming. She was talking about the fact that now she has to, so at first she had to pick and choose when she wanted to have her baby because everything that's been going on in her career, you know, just how big she is. Now that she's a mom, she has to pick and choose when she gets to be a mom, like simple things like, can I take my kid for a walk in the park or not? Because people going to take pictures of him.
Yep.
That does not sound fun whatsoever.
Well, that's what happens when you're a celebrity.
Going on.
Yes, it does not sound fun.
It's just wild to me that, you know, everything that people do nowadays, folks try to break apart like it's a Marvel movie.
Crazy.
Like everything don't have hidden Easter eggs. Everything ain't symbolism.
She in the closet because she in the closet. That don't make no damn sense.
But I love the way how she replied. She just responded with no.
And that was one of her own damn barbs.
She should have said SMD. Then they'd have been like, see, this means that she's trans.
I told you that's what I said one day. I was like SMD, and they was like, see, we told you. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, we understand that. Continue, Lauren.
Wow.
What happened?
Low blow.
Go ahead.
That was not.
Go ahead. That's all you do. That's all you do is blow low.
Exactly. Go ahead. Ain't nothing but a bottom.
Go ahead.
First of all, don't disrespect me. I'm a top.
Continue, Lauren.
Power top. Bottom, please.
Definitely not.
Do we need to open the line for the callers for the girls because they've been telling me where you be
That's what
at.
they want me to be.
Continue on.
Don't know nothing about me get bottom. Power top over here, baby.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, moving on in other news.
What the hell is going on?
Former NBA star Shawn Kemp has pleaded guilty to an assault charge. This happened today, Tuesday, on the May 28th, for a shooting of two men inside of a vehicle in a Washington State Mall parking lot. So he pled guilty to
Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Oh shoot! See, I've been in court.
I know.
Thank you,
okay.
Jess.
You're welcome, boo.
You just gonna sit over there and smile.
Sit there and smile.
And you still
You got one more time to blame this on court. Okay? I was on the phone with you last night when you was walking into a goddamn bar to go have drinks or a
First of all,
Yes.
First of all, I was walking into a meeting where
at 10 o'clock at night?
Yes, and it was a very important one.
I know that's
actually.
Right.
All I heard you say
and
was,
I had to do it at 10 o'clock at night.
Mind.
What you heard me
Live
say?
your life, Lauren.
You heard me order edamame. Anyway,
okay, go ahead, boo.
Anyway, yeah. So yesterday, Tuesday, the May 27th, he pled not guilty. What are you whispering about, MB?
No,
MB? To second-degree assault in Pierce County Superior Court. So a part of the plea agreement, according to the prosecutors, is that he had to take the plea agreement according to the prosecutor's office. So he was in a Toyota 4Runner, and the men were inside in another vehicle. Why?
Morgan did this story already this morning.
Morgan did it this morning.
Morgan did it, and now we got to sit here and act like we ain't never heard it because you doing it.
Yeah,
Morgan did this story
she
this
said,
morning.
remember, they stole his stuff. She ran up to get his stuff back, but they walked up on her, and then they started shooting each other.
This wasn't even my submit.
How many drinks you had last night?
I didn't have any drinks last night.
You are a liar, and God is watching you.
I swear to God, because I didn't have any drinks last night. I went to a meeting that I can't talk about it, but I went to a meeting last night.
Nice, and there had to be some good business being done there. So.
Yes, and we gonna move on because I didn't know we did that story. Thanks, producers.
Yes. So we moving on to.
It's over.
Okay, it's over. Birthday.
We could go into Tory Lane's, but
okay.
it's over.
It's very lengthy, so save that for the third. But it's Gladys Knight birthday, so we got any Gladys Knight in the queue?
Name one Gladys Knight song.
Drop on the clues about Gladys Knight. Stop playing with Gladys Knight.
You might not know the name of it, but she gonna know the song if you play it.
Also, no, I know Midnight Train to Georgia, but also she's also an actress, and she was in. She made her debut in one of Tyler Perry movies. I hope I'm right. Debut.
Okay.
What you want me to say? Debut is debut. No. I know how it's spelled, but it's pronounced debut.
I can't believe nobody was gonna tell me I did that story.
I didn't even know, to be honest with you. I'm sorry to Morgan. I swear I did not know. I thought she was talking about something totally different.
The only reason I stopped you because it looked like you didn't really want to tell the story anyway.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I really did.
That's what we let you go.
I'm tired of talking about prosecutors.
It's exactly. So give us some ghetto. What is happening in the world?
What's this right here?
Midnight Train to Georgia.
Just didn't even know.
We'll be right back after this. Drop a Cleve's bumper Gladys Knight.
Donkey of the Day's up next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning, y'all.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Oh, baby.
Don't be out here acting like a donkey.
Hee-haw, bitch. Hee-haw.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
I'm a big boy. I can take it. If he feel I deserve it, ain't no big deal.
I know Charlamagne guy gonna have some funny shit say out his mouth.
If you gotta say something you may not agree with, doesn't mean I'm mean.
Who's getting that donkey? That donkey. That don't.
Donkey of the Day right there.
It's the Breakfast Club, bitches. You can call me the Donkey of the Day, but I mean no harm.
Hold on, my headphones ain't working. Oh, here you go. Hold on. Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, May 28th goes to a teacher in Alabama named Tracy Walker. Tracy is 56 years old, and she is charged with aggravated child abuse. What did Tracy do to somebody's child? Let's go to Fox 10 News for the report, please.
A judge today setting a $25,000 bond for Mobile County public school teacher accused of giving a drink containing ethanol to a 4-year-old student. The Collins Road Elementary School student was rushed to the hospital back in April, where doctors say she had a blood alcohol content level of 0.28. The judge ordering the defendant, Tracy Walker, to submit to a drug and alcohol test as a condition of her bond. Her attorney asked the judge for a reasonable bond and argued that she's an achieved 10-year employee with a bachelor's and master's degree from the University of South Alabama with no criminal history. Walker is due back in court for an arraignment. She has been placed on administrative leave.
Since when are Jell-O shots proper school supplies? Okay, Tracy didn't just cross the line. She took her whole class on a field trip over the line. Okay, why do y'all like playing with other people's churn? All right, this is why, those of us with kids suffer from parental paranoia right now because of sick, evil, twisted people like Tracy Walker. Okay, don't tell me that she didn't have no past criminal record. That just means she was getting away with stuff. All right? You are a teacher. Your primary duty is to facilitate student learning and understanding by imparting knowledge and creating a positive learning environment. But no, Tracy, you want to turn kindergarten into happy hour. Okay? 4 years old, I don't even think that's kindergarten. That's pre-K. All right? She's supposed to be in there teaching life skills. Okay? Not mixology. All right, teachers are supposed to create a positive environment for students. The problem with Tracy is she's 56 years old. So when she thinks positive environment, she thinks festivities. She thinks drinks. She thinks food. Hell, Tracy probably drunk her damn self. Okay, she didn't bring that drink for the kids. She bought that drink for herself, and she did that to that 4-year-old. Well, she did to that 4-year-old what somebody did to her when she was young. okay? And that's let her get a little sip. Raise your hands if an adult in your life let you get a little sip of some alcohol when you was a child. Okay? I'm talking kids in single digits, all right? Envy raised their hand. Jess raised their hand. Red, did you raise your hand? I know you did. You Puerto Rican. Okay? Coquito. he was drinking Coquito at 5. Okay? Now, I'm not going to say who the adults were in my life that would let me get a sip of Budweiser, okay, the king of beers, because I don't want to incriminate anybody. But that was a regular occurrence in the slums I'm from, but that doesn't make it right. Okay? When you know better, you do better. And Tracy, you got to know better. You can't be giving no 4-year-old alcohol, especially a 4-year-old that has no family ties to you. Okay, IEP is supposed to stand for individualized education plans, not intoxicate every preschooler. Okay, this young girl is 4. She won't be old enough to drink for another 17 years. Do you know what you could be doing to this young woman's brain? You know what you could be doing to this young woman's liver? The only thing more under the influence than the students was the teacher's judgment. Okay, I know Tracy had to be drunk too. Okay, to even think this was a good idea, she had to be drunk. Now, let me tell you another part of the story. Tracy Walker is a special education teacher. Sounds to me like she should have been a student. Okay, what's crazy is in Alabama, if you're a special education student, you're entitled to what they call free appropriate public education until you turn 21. I knew that because I remember being in high school and they would always say the special education students graduate at 21. So if you want to drink with kids, Tracy, all you have to do is wait 17 years. And it's sad because if it is a kid with disabilities, you are getting them drunk, and getting drunk messes with your cognitive functions. And some of these poor kids already have cognitive impairment. That's why they in special ed. Okay, memory, problem solving, attention, all of that is not functioning at the expected level for their age, and you give them alcohol? Come on. Those poor parents don't know what the hell going on, okay? You're making an already tough situation tougher, and for what? The moral of the story is if the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you, then the platinum rule should be to treat other people's kids the way you would want someone to treat yours, especially if you're a teacher. Please give Tracy Walker the biggest hee-haw. What's wrong with people?
That's crazy. And I will say, in my father's defense, I was like 4, maybe as well. And I used to stay up late.
4?
Like, yes, I was 4 years old. And you know how a kid be like looking at something and trying to try it or whatever?
Yeah.
And I tried it, and he was like, all right. He tried it because, he let me try because he was like, all right, now you don't like it, do you? I spit it out, but I kept drinking it.
Yeah.
It was beer, and it wasn't liquor. It was beer.
Yeah, that was my first sip. My first sip was Budweiser, the king of beers.
How old were you, though?
Single digits, definitely.
Okay, see? How old were you?
I think I was a little old. I think I was probably like
tequila?
10. No, it was Heineken.
Oh, Heineken, okay.
Heineken.
Y'all drink Heineken over there? I thought y'all drank Corona.
I'm not
You are
Spanish. I'm not Latino.
Okay.
Yes, you are. But it was Heineken.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
my dad did the same thing. Gave me a taste. I spit it right out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I went over and I picked it up voluntarily. I was like, and he was like, all right, go ahead, try it. You ain't gonna like it. And I didn't. He gave it to you. Y'all parents gave it to y'all.
That was the same thing. I was like, Dad, how's it taste? You gotta try it. And
I ain't say it was my parents. Y'all the only ones incriminating y'all parents.
my dad's 85 years old. He don't give up.
They'll still lock him up.
Yeah, all right. Try. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
But you spit it out back then?
Oh my God!
What? No, I'm asking.
And what did you
He
do?
was not gay when he was little.
Did you swallow
What
yours?
y'all talking about? He said you spit it out. I'm asking. So you spit because you still have a taste for alcohol. You drink now.
Did you swallow yours or did you spit it out? All right, see, throw it back on your ass. Pause.
Exactly.
I know that's what you want to do.
Listen,
That's what you've been trying to do
was
for
a
15
person.
years. I've been
Oh, my
here.
goodness.
The
All
way
right.
he drink water now, the way he be like, listen, handling that girthy bottle like that.
2 hands on it.
Yes, if Big Gulp was a person, honey.
Oh,
I know
my
that's
goodness.
right.
All right. Thank you for that donkey today. Let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. This morning during Front Page News, Morgan reported that the Trump administration is now halting new student visa interviews and expanding social media vetting for student and exchange visitor visa applicants, meaning they're going to start looking at your social media. But we're asking 800-585-1051. Do you think it's fair for employees or schools to check your social media before hiring or admitting you to college or school?
I don't know why I thought that been going on. I thought social media vetting, social media background checks, I thought that was been happening for a while now.
I think they should do more social media vetting myself. 800-585-1051. If you want to get a firearm license, I think they should go through social media. They do fingerprints. They go through mental health, but they don't go through your social media.
I feel like some jobs been doing that though. I could be wrong.
Well,
but-
probably like on the low, probably, but I ain't never hear about it being like an actual thing that they check your social media. I mean, always for like cops, FBI, like stuff like that, government jobs.
Yeah, they do
I
that,
never-
but every job should, because you want to know who you're employing. You want to know who, if you're a teacher, if you're employing a teacher that has an OnlyFans, and there's a problem with that.
I remember back in the day when this was like 2015. This is before Hillary Clinton came on the Breakfast Club, and they did a social media background check on all of us.
Oh, really?
They vetted our social media.
Oh, wow.
You didn't pass at first, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
I said things about them. I
Yeah.
don't care though. It's
Crazy.
They wound up doing it anyway.
And yeah, anything I'm gonna say, anything I've said about you, I'm gonna say to you. So it don't matter.
Yeah. But 800.
Well, actually, it's because I dressed up as Hillary for Halloween one year. And I
You dressed up as who?
I had the mask on and the Nike tracksuit.
He is an idiot.
It was funny when that came up. They was like, Charlamagne actually dressed up like Hillary Clinton and this, that, and the other. But she came up. She wound up coming up
She was
anyway.
cool?
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah, she's been there twice.
Yeah. But 800-585-1051. Do you think it's fair for employers or schools to check your social media before hiring or admitting you? Let's talk about it. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're asking 800-585-1051. Do you think it's fair for employers or schools to check your social media before hiring you or admitting you to their college? That is the question. And that's because Trump's administration is now halting new student visa interviews and expanding social media to the vetting process. So we're asking, is that fair? I think it is.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see who you're working with. And, if you interview somebody, they're not going to tell you the truth. But social media, 9 times out of 10, you could actually see what a person is doing. If they're going through something, hopefully, or if they're crazy.
Yeah. But then, you have things like, some people's social media is literally their personal outlet. Some people, that's what I feel like, in a sense, that's what social media is for you to show what you want about your personal life. How much of that is going to be judged by an employer or really taken seriously by, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can, I don't know, it needs to be some type of stipulation, or to a certain extent or something like that. Because, for instance, yesterday, given what we were talking about with Loren and when she went to DR, that was fun, that was business, but what she was doing suited
personal,
for that,
right.
you know what I mean? So now what if she goes into like a big, say if BBC want to hire her or whatever, and they go on there and they don't give her the job because they seen that she parties in DR and she wears, certain clothing that, like, now what? What is,
Yeah, but I still think, even I'm 2A all day, right? So if you want to purchase a firearm, don't you want to see on their social media if somebody's threatening somebody?
Absolutely.
If somebody's living something crazy where you say, well, this person shouldn't have a firearm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think they should, Charlamagne.
Yeah, I think they do. They should have online vetting, social media vetting. I feel like some jobs already do that. I definitely know in entertainment they were doing that, because you got to think a lot of these entertainment companies were hiring talent. And then remember the old tweet era?
Yes.
When you had
Yeah.
some, what I mean?
Bring
And
back
the old tweet era, and people would have to let you go because of old tweets and all of that stuff like that. So a lot of them were doing, that online vetting, which I don't have a problem with it. I think that is good because it's an extension of your character. Now, I will say I don't know how far back you should hold somebody accountable
for, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're hiring somebody at 30 and you saw them tweet something wild
At
15 years ago,
17 years old.
I don't think that's fair, but I think there should be some level of online vetting. Yeah.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Ro from Harrisburg, PA.
What's up, Ro? What's your opinion? What's your thoughts?
My thought is this is similar to first, I want to say good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But this reminded me of the topic you guys had yesterday on Loren and people judging her for what she posted on her social media.
Right.
And I believe that social media is for personal use. It is, unless you have a brand social media that you can separately make, which we all know. We have our personal page and our business page.
Right.
If it's not on your business page, then it is none of your job business.
But let me ask you a question,
Quite
Ro.
frankly.
What happens if you're a racist and you post a lot of racist things on your social media, but now I'm hiring you, and if I'm hiring you, you know, you're supposed to represent the company, and I don't want somebody that's racist representing my company.
Yeah, because people hire you on character too. They do hire you on character.
True. I didn't look at it from that aspect because there are a lot of racists that are openly sharing stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that. I understand that aspect.
But see, it's situational. That's still situational. You know what I mean? Because even going back to Loren, it's evident, right? She has Brown Girl Grinding. That is her business, right? Where there's nothing but her brand, her representing her brand eloquently, professionally. You know what I mean? Then you have Lauren LoRosa. That's who she is when she's not in the studio, or when she's not in the court, or not working. So again, it's just situational. But I agree with the racist thing.
Right. CC.
Good morning.
Good morning, CC. What's your
Which
thoughts?
CC is this? You was at court yesterday?
Yes. No, I called yesterday. I called yesterday morning.
Oh yeah, okay. So she called 2 days in a row, but you ain't you ain't Capricorn Clark, right?
Oh nah.
Okay, go ahead now. What else? What's going on, CC?
I feel like colleges, you spend over $50,000 to $60,000 once you're done going there. They should not worry about what you're doing on your social media. You're paying them. Then on top of that, the job, how well you do your job does not have anything to do with how many kids you got at home, or if you got your man or your husband on your page or anything. I don't know. Everybody should stay off social media.
I do think, but I do think they're checking for character. What I do think should happen, and Chuck D was up here talking about this a couple of weeks ago, there needs to be social media etiquette classes for kids, and they need to be taught social media etiquette early, because a lot of these things that they are putting online can affect them in the future at schools, at jobs. Like, I think that's what actually needs to happen.
But as parents, that's what we should be doing, right? We should be making sure our kids we're protecting our kids and making sure we're explaining to them what social media does and the effects of it. Because right now, they might be kids having fun.
Yeah.
But in 10 years from now,
that's right,
whatever they put online stays online.
That's right.
It never
but
goes.
You know what? You know, one thing about it is going to be hard to even have our kids listen to us, because we didn't listen to our parents when we were younger either. And that's a cycle that repeats itself. What it needs to be is somebody that they look up to, like a Kai Sanat or something like that, to teach a class like that. And Kai already displays that.
Right.
He has a level of etiquette that a lot of kids don't, and a lot of kids look up to him. So, you know, furthermore than us being the guardians and the parents, it should be other kids doing that too.
But you know what's going to make them listen? When they hear people like Akai or whoever talk about opportunities they lost or opportunities they didn't get because of something they put on social media.
Right.
800-585-1051. Do you think it's fair for employers or schools to check your social media before hiring you or admitting you to their college or university? Let's discuss. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If y'all talking about it, you know we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're asking, do you think it's fair for employers or schools to check your social media before hiring or admitting you to their college or university? This conversation comes from Trump. The Trump administration is halting new student visa interviews and expanding social media vetting for student and exchange visitors. All right, so that's what we're asking. 800-585-1051. And we got Tisha on the line. What's your thoughts, Tisha?
So my thoughts are, I don't think that they should be using your email or, you know, searching your social media, because it interferes with, like, your personal life. And they want you to create this work-life balance. And it's just like, if you checking my social media for me to work somewhere for you, it's why?
You gotta make sure you're not crazy. We want to make sure you're not racist. We want to make sure you're not doing something illegal. Because nowadays, everybody posts the illegal stuff they do online, too.
Yeah,
so.
it was wild when the woman called up here a little while ago and said, you know, we paying mad money on this college campus and don't check my social media. What if you're on social media talking about shooting up the school?
Correct.
Right. Right, but you definitely got a point there. But what if also they, like, say, for instance, you got somebody who models and that's their way of, like, promoting what they do on social media, and they're, like, half naked. You go and fire me for this because I'm trying to, you know, have a side job on top of this job that I come in and do a good job at?
Right.
Well,
every day.
That's interesting because remember that woman? Remember the police officer who was in the music video?
Oh yeah, in the music video.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think she should be fired for that.
She got fired. I don't think she got fired. I think she got transferred, but I don't think she got fired. But what about? Let me ask you a question. What about a teacher? Right? Let's say a teacher is doing OnlyFans. She's not naked, but provocative. You know what I mean? Do you want your students going to that having that teacher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Depending on how she looks.
Please.
Depending on how she looks.
Especially my son, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Madison. Hi, Breakfast Club.
What's up, Madison? Talk to us. What's your thought?
I think that they should continue to do it, and I also think that, I know they've been doing it. With my sorority I crossed in 2016, they did a social media audit on this. We had to put our Facebook and our Instagram on there, and they just look to also see how you truly are in the community and what you post to see if that aligns.
What, you a Zeta?
I'm not in Zeta. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Mama.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You too now.
Man,
what's the moral of the story?
If we judging by social media, and Jessica Robin Moore will never have a job nowhere else, period. They're going to judge from my social media past, all of that.
But I think a lot of that stuff was a long time ago, though. Like, I no.
But some stuff, that's
true.
Yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the last time you really, really wilded out on social media was when you didn't know if you wanted a job anymore.
That was
my God.
4 weeks ago, right? That was like 3 weeks ago.
You know what? That's why I never get another job, because they'd be like, when we do something wrong, this shit gonna go right on the line. So,
that's true, though.
Yeah.
But
you know what I mean?
That's why you need to continue to be an entrepreneur.
Right. Oh, you too. Mr. Mental Health Reform. You too.
But that comes with age. But you know what, though? To Jess's point, you got to give people that opportunity to grow. That's why I said I'm not judging people based off what they tweeted 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Like, if you're 30 and you applying for a job, you done went to college and all types of other stuff, I'm going to look at your tweets and be like, damn, when you was 15, you said X, Y, and Z. No. Not
well, even when you was 20. Like, I was 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got the latest with Loren. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. You all right?
Cover your mouth even if you are choking. What the
The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fat.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
LL Cool Bay.
Good morning. So another thing that we need to talk about really, really quickly, it might be a congratulations. I'm not for sure if she's had the baby yet, but Cassie is reported has went into labor.
Okay.
Nice.
She's in the hospital in New York. Now, there were some reports that there may be complications, but I haven't confirmed that. I did reach out to her attorney to try and figure that out, but he said that it was something that he would not speak on.
You reached out to her attorney about her having a baby?
Who else would I reach out to? Her?
All right, well, I figured.
You reach out to a rep, and the attorney was the first rep number that I had. I don't have a publicist number for her.
I
figured we just mind our business about her.
That's
and
what
her
I'm
baby.
thinking too. I mean, there's no. I know you got a job to do, but there's no consciousness kicks in.
My consciousness kicked in because I'm like, I don't know if I want to say congratulations. She's in labor, and if there's complications and something's wrong, like that sounds so like not right.
But you can still say congratulations. You know what I mean? Either way,
I really reached out and I said,
have a safe delivery.
Yeah, R don't even say that you heard there's complications because you don't know if it's true.
I can't wait for
I never heard that until I heard it from you.
I also don't know if she's actually in labor or not. He wouldn't confirm anything to me. These are just reports. So, yeah.
I would just say a prayer if I heard somebody was in complications. Just the way the black maternal death rate is set up.
Yes, and that's what made me.
No, hush. You're lying now.
No, I'm not. When I reached out, I said the first thing I said was, I know this is a sensitive topic, but I feel like if I report on it, I want to make sure that if there is something wrong, I at least can know, like, all right, what not to say, or like, how sensitive to be about it. Dang.
Gotcha.
Shoot.
Fine.
Well, she's in labor. We're praying for her.
She's in the labor unit in New York.
Wishing her a safe delivery.
That's right. So. And this is baby number 3, right?
Yes, this is baby number 3 with her husband, Alex Fine.
All right.
Now, moving on, we're going to go into Tory Lanez. So, Yeah, taking a left turn. So there was this video that was released to the Shade Room, and it's all over the internet now. You guys remember when Tory Lanez was stabbed the 14 times?
We forget. It was last week.
There's video of that is circulating. In the video, of course, you don't really see the actual stabbing. You just see the guy over top of him, and Tory's like,
Tory's
kicking.
so little that kicking like
He's
a
kicking
baby.
and punching and basically trying to keep the guy off of him,
like a rag doll, just here to there.
But no guards come. The whole time, no guards come.
Because to be honest, it just looks like a fight.
It does.
It just looks like a regular fight.
But I was wondering, I wonder if the guy came up behind him, because Tory's big, pause, right? If you look at his jail pictures,
he's
muscular.
I was gonna say, no, he's shorter.
But he's muscular, and the
Okay.
guy that looked like he did the stabbing from his pictures, he looked very thin and skinny. So it feels like Tory should be able to flip him around.
Man, everything you say just sounds gay.
I wonder if he came up behind him.
I wonder if he came up behind him. Tory's big.
Tory big.
You know what I'm saying? Then he stabbed him. But I was wondering if he could flip him around.
He hit the ground. He was on the ground.
I know you were the official DJ at the Freak Offs, man. Can't nobody tell me different.
I can't even have a conversation without you saying something gay.
Me? We was just in here minding our business, listening to a story about a man getting stabbed in prison. And here you go.
Pause, king, yo. Go ahead.
Yeah, Envy is crazy. Because you see him on the ground, Envy, so I don't understand how
That's
you flip
exactly
him.
how he likes him.
Yeah, being flipped over.
Oh, my goodness.
Also, did you call the jail to confirm? Did you call and say why no guards came to his aid?
I did reach out to multiple people to figure out what is their response to the fact that there's no guards at all in this video, and Tory just gets up and walks away.
So maybe he didn't get stabbed yet, or
no.
He was stabbed up.
He was stabbed because
wow.
then people started screenshotting like as he walks, and you see like the blood on his body and on his face and stuff like that. So he was stabbed at the point when he was walking away. But again, still no guards responded. And there have been reports that the guy that stabbed him, he's spoken to TMZ, and he told them that he thought that he alleges that Tory Lanez was trying to put money on his head and was trying to take his life, so he thought he was acting in self-defense.
How the hell did he speak to TMZ?
They called him on
Should
the
it
phone.
be in the box?
They
called him on the phone.
He called them on the phone.
He
speak English?
Huh?
He speaks English?
The story's in English. They said they had a prison phone call with Santiago Castillo, who's already serving life in prison.
For those who don't know, you used to work at TMZ, right?
Yes.
How do people get videos like that from inside the jail?
It's normally leaked from someone that would have access.
And they get paid for it.
I was going to say, do they pay for it? Like, do some outlets pay for information?
Some outlets do pay for it, but it's not as much as y'all think. Like, people think you get a big payday and it don't be as much as you think. But some outlets do, some outlets don't. But sometimes things are leaked depending on who's leaking them, because you want something out there. You want people to be made aware of something. And that's why when I watched it, my first thing was, wait, where are the guards? Because to me, that was there's something wrong. Like,
absolutely. Like maybe guards were probably in on or whatever, or something like that. Because where are you guys?
I don't know, but they supposed to be there. But yeah, so I did reach out to. I haven't heard back. I reached out to Tory Lanez's attorney. I also reached out to a rep for the warden, and I reached out to another person on Tory's team as well too. Just trying to figure out how they feel about the guards. Nothing yet.
Okay, so what else is in a pot brewing?
Okay, now let's bring in some love. Oh, well, not yet. Because it's a lot going on with Black Love, y'all know.
Yes.
I've been kind of in and out. But since I've been talking about no love, we've had Remy and Pat fall out.
Yes.
You did a great job reporting that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yandy and Mendices, I don't know what is happening over there, but
what happened with them?
So Yandy and Mendices, Yandy's like ex-best friend, used to work with her, is claiming that she has like a whole little side boo thing in London, and he got caught up because of it, because there was a photo that looked like it was 3 people when it was, really him and Yandy's side boo, and
how come
allegedly
Scott Young don't got the cameras rolling now?
Listen, I have no idea, but
she do, but she be in Atlanta a lot. No, it's still stuff going on in New York. Perhaps we need to bring the New York franchise back.
That used to be the best one.
Absolutely.
But I don't know, Black Love is just it's wavering.
So the guy that he used to be her assistant, right? Or hairstylist or something like that.
Yes.
Something like that. He was making videos, walking around 3 days trying to get all this information out. He said she got a boo over in London that she cheated on in DC with, and he know because he flew over there to cover for her.
Yeah.
I would never hire him ever. And he called himself her friend, and then he got online and started fake crying.
How you know he's telling the truth though?
We don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Well, I reached out and I got.
Of course you did.
Who the hell you
Of course
called?
you did.
Yandy Mendici or the friend?
I spoke to Yandy.
Of course you did.
And I have a statement from Yandy. It says, I'm human and right now I'm grieving the loss of someone who was like a brother to me. She's talking about the guy that made the videos. Bryant wasn't just a friend. He was
died?
family. This has been incredibly painful. I truly appreciate all the love and support my family has been shown during this time. It means more than I can express. As for everything that has been said, I'm choosing to handle it privately. Not everything needs to be picked apart in the public. And speaking on it right now won't bring any good, only more noise. So I appreciate those giving me the space and our space to protect our peace.
That's why I love Lil Yandy, because AKA he dead to me. Ha! Crazy.
She said you could say that on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a statement from her.
Because that's what that is.
That was a long statement that didn't ask for privacy. I'm just saying. Love you, Yandy, but that was a very long statement just to say, hey.
She keep it real cute.
She did. That's one thing she is always master, keeping it cute. And
probably
keeping
the
it
nice little speaking engagement dress when she sent it.
All right.
Dang, I wanted to show y'all Barack and Michelle.
They broke up too?
No, they together. Date night in New York. Because we're talking about black love.
Oh, that's dope.
And they're
they was on
together.
a little date night.
And stop playing with them. Yeah, they were out in New York.
All right. Salute to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
nice.
Well, that is the latest with Loren. Now,
Loren,
let's get to the People's Choice Mix. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club.
I do not have shows this weekend, but June 13th, that's Friday, and June 14th, that's a Saturday, I will be in Pittsburgh, y'all. Homestead, Pennsylvania. That's right outside of Pittsburgh. Get your tickets. I'll be at the Funny Bone. We got 4 shows. That's 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. So get your tickets for that. Me and my brother, Desi Alexander, will be hitting the stage. And we haven't been to Pennsylvania in a long time. We haven't been to Pittsburgh in a while. So I know y'all love me, although I done traded. I'm a trader. Because remember, I was a Steelers fan, right? And then when I married Chris, I had to become a Baltimore Ravens fan. And I know it's crazy that I wasn't already a Baltimore Ravens fan, but I didn't get into football until I got to high school. And I went to high school in Pennsylvania. It was either the Eagles or the Steelers, and the Steelers were killing.
I think you always wanted to be a Ravens fan. Ashton is a Ravens fan. Your father's a Ravens fan.
Yes.
I don't think you should give Chris that credit.
I should have ever done that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't give him that credit.
Because you don't switch. You didn't stop eating soul food and want Mexican food more just because Chris is Mexican. I'm just saying.
Or maybe she did. Do you eat more tacos?
Listen, get your tickets, y'all. JessHilariousOfficial.com. June 13th and 14th, Homestead, PA. Pittsburgh, PA. I will be there.
That's right.
I will say, Jess want a bunch of kids now. Okay. She used to just want one more. Now it's like, give me 7.
Yeah,
wow.
not 7. Probably like 2 more. That's it.
7 kids is a Mexican dozen.
All right. Now, that weekend, it's Father's Day weekend. I'm going to be out in Atlantic City. Salute to Vibes Cartel. Actually, we're bringing our Vibes Cartel to Atlantic City. Yes. So,
what the hell are they going to have Vibes at in Atlantic City? I love Atlantic City. But what place is big enough to hold Vibes Cartel in Atlantic City?
It's not going to be as big, so it's going to be nice and quaint. Let me give you the...
Ain't no way. You saying it on the radio. It's going to be so many people out there.
It's going to be sold out real fast. He's coming to the Boardwalk Hall. The Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City.
Boardwalk Hall is not that big. I like Boardwalk Hall. My daughter has a lot of cheerleading competitions there.
Yeah, so we're going to be at the Boardwalk Hall Father's Day weekend. So get your tickets. It will sell out. Let me see how many it holds because I'm curious.
14,770. There must be another part of Boardwalk Hall I don't know about.
There you go. 14,000. June 14th. The show is at 9 o'clock. It's going to be me, Vibes Cartel, DJ Self, and DJ Nori. So we got to have a lot of fun. We got to salute Humble the Poet for joining us this morning.
Salute to my guy, Humble the Poet. He's got a new book out, Unanxious. 50 Simple Truths to Help Overthinkers Feel Less Stress and More Calm.
That's right.
That's right.
And you got a positive note?
I do, and it's simple, man. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Talk to people the way you want to be talked to. Respect is earned, not given. Have a blessed day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?